Hey guys, today we're going to show you how to stop being a nice guy. Be sure to watch to the end to find out the most common mistake of a nice guy and subscribe if it's your first time here. So, first of all, what is a nice guy? Just because you open the door for others to go first doesn't mean you're a nice guy. It means you're a gentleman. To stop being a nice guy, you shouldn't stop these kinds of kindness because that's not the problem. The problem is rather when you comfort and click with a woman. It's the feeling of being owed a deserving reward for being there for the girl, whether it be sexual or other ways. Being a nice guy is a mindset that is unconfident and instead can be quite toxic in contrast to the name of it. It also is another way of saying friend zone, in my opinion, because you're doing these favors to try to get a relationship. So, on to how to stop being a nice guy. 1. Speak your mind. So instead of sugarcoating your words, you should be instead speaking what comes to mind. I know for a fact when I used to be a nice guy, I used to say, let's go to the movies, instead of saying, let's go on a date. I know it's quite subtle. However, you need to make your intentions clear to that girl instead of trying to switch it up when you're out with her. When I speak now, I could be offensive because I only speak my mind. You waste time by trying to cover things up instead of facing the truth, therefore, making your dating life less and less appealing. Also, you're misleading that girl if you do say movies instead of date, so you could leave yourself with a reputation of untrustworthiness. Obviously, don't be an a-hole, but in life, you sometimes have to say the truth, which may hurt. However, it's always a lesson. 2. Don't always agree with her. Sure, you two may have common interests, but you don't always have to agree with her to make her try to like you. Disagreements are normal in life, and if she doesn't see how you handle them, but instead you agree with her, then she'll never see how you handle difficult situations. It makes sure she has someone who can provide different perspectives of a situation rather than her own. You also will find out how you two will be together when disagreements occur. If you both can't reason with each other, then you know it wasn't meant to be. You will establish your own boundaries, so for example, if you do ever get married, you won't get walked all over by her. When you disagree with someone, you should always provide a reason as to why, so they can see your view, then they can possibly either counteract it, agree, or disagree with it. This can really build your influencing and general reasoning skills, which women do love because it shows an alpha male trait. Just a quick second, would you mind hitting that like button if you've enjoyed it so far? Anyway, 3. Ask your friends and family their opinion about you. Are you a pushover? Are you easily influenced? Are you always available? This sort of feedback can be vital to finding your flaws. If your family or friends say this, then you know some of your nice guy traits. If you've been friend-zoned by a girl, then ask her. That's really my strongest advice here, because you'll understand from a girl's perspective what you did wrong, then go fix them. I remember when I got friend-zoned by this girl. I asked her how I would go about getting another girl, because we became good friends even if she didn't want me. She simply listed my flaws like I would ditch my friends to hang around with her. This showed her that I was always available, and a bit of a pushover, therefore easily influenced, which isn't an alpha male trait. Girls love an alpha, and an alpha will always at least try to resist being influenced by justifying or negotiating their challenges. Such as, she said I should have said something like, "What about Monday instead?" when she'd asked to go out. It's very simple. However, it shows that you're busy with others and are willing to work something out rather than concede or simply giving in to her commands. 4. Don't shower them with compliments or gifts that big up their ego. Once you get to this point, you make them feel like they're better than you, especially if there's no return back to you. There's nothing worse than a girl with a huge ego because she gets a man's attention. Trust me, I've been there, like texting "Good morning, beautiful" before she was my girlfriend, which eventually she got bored of and friend-zoned me. She'll get sick of it and not think of it as something to cherish, but rather something she can throw away in her head. It's okay to do it every once and again, like she looks pretty, but never more than once a week, I'd say. This also applies to gifts. A gift can be anything like something expensive, but also something like buying her favorite gum before you two meet. It may seem like a favor, but it's also something she'll come to expect. So again, try to only sprinkle this in when meeting her, like getting her favorite gum every 5th time you meet, rather than every time. 5. Don't be her fallback guy. This is a big one and super common. I can't emphasize this enough. Don't be this guy. It's seriously the main problem of most nice guys. Yes, you're a nice person in general by helping this girl through her breakup with a guy, but hot damn, you can't be her tissue to cry on. You're basically stamping on your forehead that the power of the vagina is enough to manipulate you. You're being played like a PlayStation and should 100% get out of here now. I know it can be quite difficult sometimes if you really like this girl. However, you'll only have wasted your time talking her out of the breakup, then end up in the friend zone, and she'll go find another guy to have sex with instead of you. This is quite literally the definition of nice guy, because as you're comforting her, you're thinking you're owed some sort of favor, like maybe a relationship, which is what can be toxic between the friendship of you two. As you can see in 5 tips, the main thing is not letting the girl change or manipulate you. This all changes when you're in a relationship, as you're both meant to help each other level up. But before that, you have to play hard to get and only care for yourself to mark yourself as an alpha male who chases what they want and does what they want, rather than someone who can be influenced and pushed over easily. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like, subscribe, comment what else you'd like to see, and hit the bell icon.